secure in the line, except Tishy forward.
Bad shot here, boys, and we start a roll here. One bad shot, you'll open the door here, boys. Come on, lads.
Yep, one bad shot is going to bring Faf du Plessis in, mate. Yeah, Faf du Plessis just got 100. That's a pretty good form, Bernie.
We are, folks, ready for yet another episode of the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Show, which is proudly brought to you by Retravision, ESA Sport, and Everlast Sports Drinks. My name is Orazio Santalucia, and I'm here every week delivering Peel Cricket's best news. This is the best podcast for Peel Cricket in the whole wide world, believe it or not. Well, it is, isn't it? I'm waiting for someone to dispute it. God, I'm full of it sometimes. Yeah, look, episode 15. We've got there pretty quick, episode 15, and this is the Country Week special. You don't have to be Einstein to work out. We didn't have any PCA cricket, Peel Cricket Association cricket last weekend because of the traditional Country Week block. So obviously played Saturday, then the Country Week players play Sunday through to Friday with a day off on the Tuesday. And so the Saturday was a day off, which was probably good for some. I know some that had a bye before Country Week. That's 2 weeks off and only had a week or so on and all that sort of stuff. But look, it's a funny time for cricket at this time of the year. We do it all the time. We shoot ourselves in the foot, and we don't exactly get any great guidance in regards to fixturing and getting it all right from the top, because you can see all the mess that international cricket's in and trying to fixture the Big Bash and that comp, the Big Bash. The only good thing about it is, hey, the Perth Scorchers are in the final, and as you're listening to this, I'm recording this on Thursday night, and you'll hopefully listen to this from Friday onwards. And Friday night, the mighty Perth Scorchers will be out there trying to knock off the nemesis, which is the Sydney Sixers. And, didn't they have a dramatic end to their game last night? It'd be interesting to hear what some people are thinking about the way that game ended. For those that weren't watching, and I don't blame you. I mean, I know I haven't watched much of it, to be honest. I've seen the highlights, little clips here and there, but I haven't watched many games live. Just hasn't grabbed me this year. The timing doesn't quite work when every game's over east. 4:30 starts. Not really a great time for us over here. So So basically, it got down to the last over. Sydney Sixers were, as you probably heard, if you have been following a little bit, they're on their last legs. They're running out of players left, right, and centre. And Jordan Silk got injured during the game, so he was on one leg, and they needed a few off the last few balls, and I don't know how they did it. I don't know, and it's bad of me not to know, but end of the day, they made a bit of an in-game substitution and put a fit guy in to run for the last ball. Essentially, they needed two off the last ball, and they did a little interchange. They screamed out, basically retired, put a fit man in to run. Didn't matter in the end because Hayden Kerr, who tell you what, he might get into national honours before too long. Hit a 4 anyway. Where am I going with this? Country Week special. So this week's show, what do we got? We're going to have a little bit of a wrap up of men's Country Week. That is, unfortunately, the A-grade boys couldn't get it done back to back. They got to back grand finals. So to play two WACA grand finals is pretty amazing, and to have that experience alone is pretty fantastic, but couldn't get it done in the end. And we'll have a little chat about Country Week a little bit later on. We'll also talk about Women's Country Week, which was also held at the end of last week. more in the last week and into early this week. Had a chat to three of the girls in Skipper Ashley, Hollie Bec, who have had on the show before, who's the PCA women's delegate and major driver of the women's competition here in the PCA, and Bec McLennan, who's the PJCA president, but she put her playing cap on. She plays for Mandurah in the Beyond Bank ladies competition and having an absolute ball. And she stopped organising cricket and played cricket and had an absolute ball. So we'll have a chat to the girls, and you can see that they had an absolute amazing time. You can hear it in their voice in the chat, and the chat amongst themselves online through the various Facebook pages and stuff has been amazing to see that excitement. And I just hope that that leads into something moving forward, and we see a hardball competition evolve and have a real pathway here in the Peel region for females, not only representative cricket, i.e. Rockingham, Mandurah and Premier cricket, but we're going to have a community hardball competition as well, which will really nearly be the icing on the cake for what's available here in the Peel Cricket Association, because we're also going to talk about Retravision Premier T20 League. We were back in action Tuesday gone, had a brilliant game of cricket yet again at the amazing Peelwood Reserve. I mean, again, to play under lights, all that sort of stuff, live coverage, live and exclusive coverage on the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket channel. You all know that because you all tune in, and a bit of commentary from yours truly, who I had an absolute ball on Tuesday. I have a ball every game, but Tuesday was great. The weather was fantastic. I liked our vantage point. It'd be interesting again to get some feedback on where we were positioned this game. We were closer to the Pavilion. We were more side on. We've tried a few different things just to sort of see what people's feedback is. Had some really good interaction throughout the game, and I'll have a little bit of a chat about that later on, which I want to encourage. Just use Messenger. My phone's near me all the time, so I'm getting some really good interaction, including a bit of international interaction. So we're getting international coverage of our stuff that we're doing here in the PCA. All that and more after we come back from a little short break here. Remember, you are on the greatest podcast of Peel cricket in the whole wide world, the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Show, which is proudly brought to you every week by Retravision. Remember their 60-day price guarantee, which basically means you cannot get a better price on your electrical goods, your white goods, and everything in between. So if you're gonna buy any of that sort of stuff, you're gonna go get a new camera, you're gonna buy a computer, you're gonna go and buy a phone, or you're gonna buy a coffee machine, or you're gonna buy a new fridge, a new freezer, there's only one place to go, and that's Retravision. There's click and collect available as well if you can't be asked, especially now where we've got to wear masks and all that sort of stuff. If you are not too keen on wearing a mask, click and collect. So you can pay online, book a time, go pick it up, bang, in and out, done. That's Bloke's central shopping there. So for all the guys listening in, click and collect, that's the way to go. I'll tell you what, because we're all not great fans of shopping, really. So if you can just get in, get out and get it done, perfect. So Retravision, get around them. ESA Sport, as I've mentioned numerous times, end of season windups to be thick and fast to be planning those, I dare say, most clubs. Why not get a guest speaker? Why not make something of it? We're challenging times. We're working hard to keep people involved and keep people up and about. What a way to end the season and to have, say, a guest speaker, have a player or something like that. ESA Sport can help you out there amongst a whole heap of other things, make your sporting memories grand. And Everlast sports drinks, I know for a fact, I saw on Tuesday night even. Saw Dan Oliver, Mitch Oliver's father. He had two. He had the red berry going. It's Berry Blaze. I'm probably not going to see it too well. The Berry Blaze, he had two of them and he smashed them down pretty quick. And having a chat to a few of the boys during the week last week in furnace-like conditions. I know the Everlast was going down a treat. So make sure you fill up on Everlast. You know where to get them. Johnny Sanders. Phone number is there. ESA Sport website, all of that. You know where to go. And you also know that you are on the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Show. Be back. Segment here of the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Show. As usual, proudly supported by our fantastic partners in Retravision, ESA Sport, and Everlast Sports Drinks. Using the team's program to record the last couple of shows. My little studio set up at home, just in the middle of a few little upgrades. Basically, my green screen sort of setups fallen over, and I haven't been able to get down to my favourite shop in the whole wide world. I hate the place with a passion, Bunnings. So that ends our chances of ever getting a sponsorship from them. But yeah, it's not my favourite place. Anyway, so I have, and I've got the things I need. So as of next week, we'll be back using our other Zoom, basically, is what we normally use. But this is my backup team, so that's why you get that little blurry sort of thing in the back. But look, got to do what you got to do to get the job done. That's what it's all about. A little bit about me. Now, I know I don't want it to be about me, but I know some of you are probably starting to get to know me a little bit, or a bit more comfortable with my presence being around the PCA. You know, just sort of wondering, who the hell is this bloke? Where did he come from? And why is he in my ears? Why is he in my face? What's he doing? And that's a fair comment. That's a fair comment and a fair question. So I just thought I'd just sort of just lay a bit of a foundation and just give everyone a little bit of an insight into who I am, why I'm here, and whether that makes me a more believable person when I'm talking or not. Look, that's your choice. Anyway, what's my cricket background? I've been fortunate enough to have a fairly extensive professional career within the game. I lived and worked in the UK for about 8 years. As a player coach, as an administrator, as a development officer, and everything in between. So I was lucky to work with Cricket Scotland, Cricket Ireland, Gloucestershire County Cricket Club. I ran I was the inaugural head coach and manager of the Isle of Wight Cricket Academy, which is a purpose-built cricket academy on the Isle of Wight, which is off the southern coast of the UK, and when we're allowed to travel again, I thoroughly recommend getting over to the Isle of Wight. The club there, the main club, they've got a really good hotbed of local cricket, but the biggest club there, Ventnor Cricket Club, that's where the academy is based, and that's where I was playing. Had some of my most enjoyable cricket ever. Anyway, so I've been lucky enough to work and play cricket all over the world. In the UK, I've been to India, I've been to Sri Lanka. I've played international cricket for Italy, believe it or not. Well, you can probably work it out with my name. So I've done a bit of most of my cricket in Australia has been played in Victoria. I played sub-district cricket for Preston Cricket Club for a number of years. That's where I started my journey as a little 7-year-old playing under 14s cricket. That's what was around in those days. I was no under 12. So, was lucky to have really good coaching throughout. So that really whet the appetite and made me think, coaching's something I want to do. Got injured quite early as a young cricketer, did my back and had back issues throughout. I used to be a fast bowler, believe it or not, fast bowling all-rounder. And just through overuse, just wear and tear on my back, had many back issues. And these are the days before stress fractures were a thing. I had major stress fractures. Anyway, so then you decide you want to get into coaching, and coaching started to take a bit of a path. And I've been lucky enough to sort of travel the world. My last 10 years the last year or so, I've changed tact a little bit, and that was sort of forced on me. I now work for the state government, work for the Department of Local Government, Sport and Cultural Industries as a project officer. So I still work within the sport and recreation industry, but in a different sort of way. Before that, nine and a bit years working for the WACA in various roles. I started as a regional manager in the Southwest. So Bunbury, Margaret River, Bustleton, down to Manjimup, Donnybrook, Collie, and all that sort of stuff. So really working at developing the game and growing the game down there, and then moved into the high performance coaching field as a development coach in the female programs, and then continued as a coach and talent specialist before COVID hit and decimated the sports industry. And I was one of the ones that was a bit of a victim, but that's okay. And how did I get here? How am I doing this sort of stuff? Well, I've always had a bit of an interest in the media. I've done bits and bobs throughout my time. I did a little bit of radio when I was down in the Southwest. I had a regular slot in ABC Southwest. I did a little bit of radio and TV when I was in the UK. And podcasting, since it's ever taken off, I've really wanted to get into it. So here we are. Did a little bit of community radio last year. And so here I am. So I had the opportunity to, I got the opportunity to be a commentator. So the PCA approached me and asked if I wanted to commentate the T20s, and I couldn't answer quick enough. And then I had this in the background. I was actually, funny enough, I was going to approach the competition to talk about a podcast. And well, here we are. So that gives you a little bit more of a background of where I am and what I'm doing. And I haven't played cricket for a long time. Once I moved over to WA from Victoria, so I moved over 10 years ago now, nearly 11 years ago. I basically had an offer to play for every club in the Southwest. And in my role working for the WAC, I thought, you know what, I can't really win here. So I decided to retire from playing, and hadn't played for a long time, other than the 3 or 4 games I've played recently in the Peel Veterans competition, which I've had a ball playing. It's been a tough initiation back into the game, but yeah, the games when I get a bit of a call up, and whenever they're short, I put my hand up. I get to play those games, so enjoy that. And I've done a little bit of coaching since I've stopped at the WACA, so I might be doing a little bit more. Also got a bit of a role with the Peel Junior Cricket Association. I was the carnival coordinator last season, but I've progressed into the coach coordinator this year. So doing a little bit of work with the coaches, and hope to do a little bit more before season's end. Also available to help out any coaches or coaching in the PCA as well. So anyway, hopefully that gives you a little bit more of an understanding of who I am, who this bloke is, this random bloke that's just sort of turned up out of nowhere. Thank you to everyone that's been giving some feedback, good, bad, and indifferent. Most of it's been good, which is amazing. I enjoy doing this. I'm just trying to really promote the competition and promote cricket in the region, and highlight everybody that plays. I mean, I can only do what I can do, but hopefully you can see that I try to incorporate the whole competition from A grade down to F grade, and then even the female competition, which I think very important competition. It means that there isn't anyone in the Peel region or in our region that can't access this game. You've got entry points everywhere, and got a great relationship with Premier Cricket. So you've got an opportunity to continue up the pathway if you want. If you want to just stay and play community cricket and be part of a pretty solid good level cricket, A grade and B grade and things like that. You've got that. You've got the ability to continue your way through. You can come back from Premier. You might have had a bit of a crack and thought, no, I want to come back, and you can come back. And there's veterans cricket now, which has been up and about for a few years now, and no doubt T20 cricket will continue to grow. You've got that opportunity to play Retravision Premier T20 cricket on Tuesday nights, which is amazing. I dare say more and more people probably want to play a bit more. So there might be a bit more, I don't know if it's social cricket, but a bit more infrequent cricket, if that makes any sense. So a bit of a T20 comp, I might play every other week or something like that. So the fact that there's so many options and opportunities for people to enjoy this game, and it's a frustrating game at times, no doubt, but it's a beautiful game, and we're all here because we love it. In some way, shape or form, we love cricket. That's why we're here, and I'm fortunate to have this opportunity to do something different, but still be involved in the game. So yeah, that's me. That's Orazio Santa Lucia. I'm 47 years of age. I currently live in Parmelia, which is just it's part of Kwinana, really. Originally from Melbourne, so I'm a Victorian boy. And like I said, I lived a big chunk as well, about 8 years in the UK. Got my lovely wife, she's English, so we met whilst I was out in the UK. And it's just us two. So we don't really have any family out here. It's I guess you guys are the only family we sort of have. So don't be afraid to say g'day. And that's me. That is the end of the my rant. We'll move into the next segment where we'll talk about some of the Senior Country Week results in a minute. This is the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Show. You know the score. You know who supports us. You can see it behind me. Get behind it. Be back. Okay, back for the real part here. Talk about Peel cricket, not about this idiot who's talking to you where you're getting him through your ears or visually or both. I don't know. Maybe you're a double decker. Maybe you listen to it and then you watch it. I don't know. Look, feel free to contact the show at any stage. Look, the best way is just through the Facebook page, the Peel Cricket Association Facebook page. That messenger, I'm connected to it, so I get your messages. During the game on Tuesday night, had some really good interaction with a few of you. It was fantastic. It'd be great to get more and more of that. Feel free to, keep it clean. Don't go silly. But we can have a joke. We can have a laugh. That's fine. But we'll just keep it, keep it safe and keep it clean and all that sort of stuff. But so if you've got any comments, any feedback, if there's anything, am I missing something? Is there something you'd like to hear or like to see? Let me know. Open to any ideas. This is your show, and I'm really keen to make sure that this grows to be a more inclusive sort of show podcast. Okay, so having more people involved. So we'll grow. We'll get better as we go along. But I'm pretty confident that we're better than we were episode 1. We're at episode 15 now, and we're at the real business end of the season. So it's going to be a really good run home into what I think is going to be an exciting, outstanding final series. Fingers crossed the weather holds up. I think it will, but you know how it is in the back end of the season. Weather gets a bit dodgy and all that sort of stuff. But anyway, Senior Country Week, A grade. So close yet so far. The headline in the paper today was not the one I wrote. So if you have read the Mandurah Mail today, I wrote the article, and the article hasn't changed much. I think there might be a few words here and there, but essentially that's my words. But the headline is misleading. It basically, well, to me, it reads like that PCA won, and it would have been great, but unfortunately it wasn't to be. It was just one hurdle too far. So A grade team won every game leading into the final. Did well throughout, and different people did their bit. But let's be brutally honest, the man of the week, Dan Abel. Round of applause, man! What a week! What a week! So first game, Peel 204 defeat Esperance 142. So 62 run win there. Pretty comprehensive. Michael Holmes from South Mandurah got 63. We had Zach Moody. We were in a Zach Moody get 3 for. And Mitch Brown, last year's A-grade winning captain, stood aside this year, let Josh Rudge take the mantle. He got 3 for as well. So good start. You're thinking, yep, great. As we know, the weather just got hotter and hotter and hotter. So it got harder and harder and harder. So second game, come up against Busselton Margaret River. Peel 7 for 211, defeat Margaret River quite easily, all out 116. So 95 run win there. Josh Rudge, West Steele, and Steph Botha all got 40 odds. And this is where the Dan Abel show started, because he took 6 for 20 off 15, if you don't mind. Now, obviously, in the heat on your club grounds, quite dry surface, probably used pitches and things like that. So it was always going to be spin friendly. And if anyone's going to exploit that, it was going to be Dan, who's got a beautiful, could watch him bowl all day. I have got a bit of a preference for spin bowling. You've probably worked that out, but he has got a very, very easy on the eye sort of bowling action. Would love to do some work with you though, Dan, so we might be able to tee something up there, because I reckon there's just a couple little things that we could work on and make even better. But anyway, so 6 for 20 off 15. That's outstanding. Great win by the boys there. Moving on to the next game. That was on the Wednesday, because the So they played Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Everyone had a day off, and everyone would have been happy with that because she started getting warm. So Wednesday they're back. They play Geraldton. Another pretty convincing win by, what's that work out to be, 68 runs. 9 for 177 defeat. Geraldton all out 109. Tommy Borkwell got 57, so continuing his form from the Saturday where he got 100. And Dan Abel, 7 for 36 off 14. So he's got 13 for 56 off 29 overs in 2 games. That's just phenomenal stuff. So amazing stuff there. Get to the big game, which is the semi-final, and that's on the Thursday. And that's against last year's finalists in Albany. You know, there's a real rivalry sort of building up there. And bat first, get 127, and you're thinking, that's, you know, the bowlers are going to have to be outstanding to get you through. And sure enough, they did. Bowled Albany out for 98, so 29-run win there. Tommy Borkwell, 48, leading scorer in a low-scoring sort of innings. And then it was the spin sensations in Dan Abel got 3 for 28 off 22. Hutchie got 3 for 16 off 9, and Jake Foley got 2 for 15 off 6. So, together they were able to, so what does that work out to? So 3, 6, 8 wickets for 28, 44, 54, 59. Yeah, so 8 wickets for 59 off, well, over half the overs, 29, 31, 37 overs. So that's phenomenal stuff. So it was spin was the way forward, and that was fantastic. In my chat last week, if you remember, I chatted to Hutchie on the Thursday night. So they just won that game and had a bit of a chat, and obviously going to the Wacker. And I did mention that, going to the Wacker now, probably not as a spin-friendly surface. It's going to be a better sort of track. So might be one for the seamers to sort of stand up. And it just didn't eventuate that way. The spinners didn't bowl badly, but they just didn't have the effect. You can't. The Wackers, well, just look back in history. It's not really a spinner's wicket. It is a pace bowler's wicket. Bunbury won a toss, batted first, get runs on the board, and that they did. 8 for 327, big score. Julian Credelli, who had an outstanding match, took 3 wickets, but also made 116. Blair Malatesta, captain from Collie, one of the only B grade players who's playing in the A grade team. But Blair's a very, very good player, seasoned country player. He got 75. They put on 131, and that's pretty much knocked the game on the head there. Spinners only able to take 3 wickets between them. 37 overs between the spin, 3 for 187. So they bowled a lot of overs, 37 overs, but just couldn't get the breakthroughs. And that's where you would have thought the seamers might have done a little bit more bowling, might have done. But anyway, look, it's hindsight's a wonderful thing. It's easy. And look, Dan might not have got it done with the ball today or in the final, but went on to make 63 off 39 balls. 7 4s and 3 6s, a bit of a lone hand at the end. Obviously, the game was probably dead at that stage, but still, you got to fight it out to the last ball. So runs were an issue all week, let's be brutally honest, and probably reflective of the season that we're sort of seeing. I mean, the bowlers are having a really good, solid season this year. I mean, there's been some outstanding performances, don't get me wrong. I mean, you've got like Jack Manuel making really good runs. You got Dane Ugal, I mean, just makes runs all the time. There's a couple of batters that are sort of doing okay, but there's not many outstanding, but every week there's bowlers doing really, really well, and some low scores and some, big losses or big wins, depending on how you want to put it. So the hot, dry condition as well, I mean, it's going to take its toll, and eventually it just gets you. So, hot day after hot day after hot day backing up. I mean, to hear some players, experienced players, saying the game on the Thursday, the day before your grand final, is the hottest day they've ever played in, that's saying something. So that's going to drain you. And the Wacker surface, obviously playing on a test quality, international quality ground. The wicket's better, so better for the batters, which means the bowlers are going to be a step, or if not 2 steps better. And it just wasn't to be. So look, awesome job getting to the grand final. Unfortunately, it wasn't to be, but take a lot out of the fact that as a group you're able to get through and represent the association well. So congratulations to everyone involved, and hope the learning from it has been worth it, and hope that you're able to put that into the season, the rest of the season moving forward, because it's an exciting season. And look, Peel Cricket's doing some really great stuff, so well done. B grade, they won 2 games throughout the competition. Probably a little bit disappointing there with that team. A lot of A grade talent running around in B grade there. So they won 2 games versus West Pilbara 1 and Warren Blackwood. And in that game in particular, they tried to win the game outright, but couldn't quite do it. So, like, player of the week there was clearly Secret Harbour Dockers Hilton Hardman, who had a great week with the bat. Out of 5 hits, he got 4 half centuries, 257 runs for the week, 64.25 average. So well done there. Yagan Wally got a 5 for against Bunbury, the eventual winners. And Travis Head took a 5 for. Mandurus Travis Head took a 5 for against Albany. Well, so against 2 very good opposition. The bowlers did well. But, yeah, I guess on reflection, B grade probably underachieved, I would have thought. With that team that was out there, I thought it was a pretty solid squad. And but look, these things happen. It's hard playing with a whole bunch of different people. You know, you get used to your teammates you play with on Saturday, and then not that people don't know each other, but you're all coming together and playing as one. So look, again, take out the positives out of it. Hilton, you know, you can go on and continue on your run. And yeah, so well done everyone there. C grade, they got 2 wins as well, against Wild Catcham and Northern. Northern won. So that was that's a good win for Peel's 3rd team, Peel's C grade team, and beat Northern's 1st team. Some of the impressive score there. So we had White Knights Baldivis president Daniel Coles. He got a 67 versus Newman, and North Baldivis's Punyajit. Thanks for telling me, mate, because the scorecard doesn't tell you that. But hat-trick versus Northern in 3 for 4. So you got 3 for 4, which was a hat-trick. So well done there, and obviously helped the boys on to a win. D grade, they got through to the grand final as well. So well done there, but unfortunately it wasn't to be. Won 3 games during the week. The games lost in the preliminary rounds was against Port Hedland, and that was the team that won the D grade competition in the end, Port. And that's their first team, and there's some serious players running around up there in the northwest. So for Peel's 4th team to play their first team, look, that's an anomaly of the competition, and that's country week. That's just the way it works. So that's fine. Yeah, tough loss, but again, for the players that played, what a great opportunity to play against some good opposition on some decent grounds, I dare say. And to get through the grand final is always a good thing. So some of the highlights there, we had Shoalwater's Joel Ritchie took a 5 for 30 versus Collie, and Shoalwater's Grant Coles got 67 versus South Midlands 2s. Grand final score 5 for 2, 3, 4 defeated. That was Port Hedland. Port Hedland got 5 for 2, 3, 4. That's a big score to chase, and Peel 1, 2, 6 all out. So quite a convincing win by Port Hedland, and congratulations to them. You've got to be gracious winners, and you've got to be gracious losers as well, and that's probably the spirit of cricket's a big thing. It's a big part, it's a big foundation of Country Week, and no doubt everyone, look, end of the game, you shake hands, you move on, have a chat to the boys, you have a beer and all that sort of stuff. Although I dare say it probably would have been a little bit difficult with all the COVID sort of restrictions. So I wonder how that affected things as well. Obviously, masks, sign in, sign out, can't be in a pavilion and all that sort of stuff. And for those guys coming into Perth, and their areas were COVID free, I guess. So they were doing everything they could to not have to. Mind you, I guess they probably had to when they go back. So they're not only have they come to Perth to play country and all that sort of stuff and stinking hot heat, they've had to go back and they've got to wear masks. So, yeah, anyway. So that's D grade. And then E grade. E grade won 2 games. They won against a combined Northern Wild Catcham team and Kalgoorlie Boulder first. Now, for those that most of you listening probably understand, Kalgoorlie's got two competitions. There's the Goldfields competition, and then there's the Kalgoorlie Boulder comp had a team, the Kalgoorlie Boulder team, and that's their only team, played in the E grade. Some of the performances there, so skippered by White Knights Luke Green, and it was very White Knights flavoured team, this one. So Luke got a 4 against Northern Walcatcham. White Knights Ryan Kenny got 58 in the same game. Matthew McMahon from South Mandurah got 87 versus Kalgoorlie Boulder, so well done, well batted. Simon Grobbelaar got 4 for 39 versus Esperance 2s. Jake Farmer, White Knights as well, made 63. This is Great Southern seconds, and that was in the final game. Dylan Thompson from South Mandurah made 65. Also in that final game, and White Knights Adam Briggs got 5 for 26 in the final game too, and that's his second 5 for the season. Got a 5 for not too long ago. Look, end of the day, look, tough conditions last week, and not everyone's available. I guess that's one of those sort of things. I mean, I've got no doubt that if there were more players that made themselves available, look, and you don't have to. I mean, that's fine. There's a whole heap of reason why. But at the end of the day, I truly believe that if Peel's top team were able to get together and play, would have seriously pushed winning back-to-back. But look, it wasn't to be, and the players that did get the team there did extremely well. So well done everyone involved. Well done off the ground. So I dare say Rob Wallace would have done a mountain of work to pull it all together. Pete Ritchie, no doubt, did a mountain of work to pull it all together. Terry Arnold would have done a fair bit of work in the background as well. And anyone else that did the background stuff, the stuff that we don't, it's not sexy. We don't advertise it enough. We don't promote it enough. This is your time. Thank you very much for all that you do. And for those that probably don't do much in that, and look, that's okay. Again, it's not for everyone, and you don't need everyone to do it. Just remember to just say thanks. Say thanks to the volunteers at your club. Say thanks to the people that are there week in, week out, providing the opportunity for all of us to enjoy this game, whichever way we do. So, look, a thank you, a pat on the back, a beer or a soft drink or whatever it is every now and again. You know what? It's cheap, it's easy, but it makes a hell of a difference. So let's make sure that we do that. So that's the men's senior A grade. Oh, come on. Men's senior country week results wrap up. So that's another year done and dusted. So actually, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll come back and we'll give the girls their own section because they deserve it. They've done a lot of work to get to where they are. So we'll be back after this short break, and we'll be chatting all things Women's Country Week, which was just recently completed up in Geraldton. You are on the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Show, which is proudly brought to you by Retravision, ESA Sport, and Everlast Sports Drinks. We'll be back after this. Okay, welcome back, everyone. We're back here on the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Show, proudly brought to you by Retravision, ESA Sport, and Everlast Sports Drinks. You know how it goes. Get behind them, they get behind you. Okay, Women's Country Week. Second year of the competition, and the second year that Peel's been able to get a team together. So some of the challenges that some of you may not be aware, it's a hardball competition. These girls play with a softball, so that's one. And two, playing on turf. They don't get to play on turf. So they're quite big items that they've got to move aside in order to be able to compete. But I tell you what, there isn't a prouder bunch of players that represent the maroon and blue than this group of girls. So their second tour of duty they've just completed, like I said, up in Geraldton, the Windy City, and from all accounts, it lived up to its name. It blew an absolute hoolie most days, stinking hot. Like one of the days was 44 degrees and blowing, like, they saw, willy willies everywhere and all that sort of stuff. They could hardly stand up, that sort of stuff, Really, really tough conditions. Playing 2 games in one day. They played 5 games in 3 days. So, they really did it hard. This year, the side skippered by Ashley Challen, who plays for Mandurah and also plays for Rockingham Mandurah. She's real star of the game in the Peel Cricket Association. And but she also said that, and in the chat that you're going to see after this, you're going to hear me talk a little bit, but you're going to hear them. The girls have made a really big step forward from the team that they were last year to the team they were this year, to the point where they won their first ever game. And then in that last game, they won their first game. And that's when I happened to interview them, and they were just flying high. It's amazing, the feeling, the passion, the real drive to want to be better and really make a difference was amazing. And I've got no doubt that this group of women are going to really make a difference. And just watch this space and you'll see how this will grow. They did some really great stuff. Look, I'll wrap it up very quickly here, because I want you to hear them talk and listen to their excitement. But at the end of the day, 7 players returned from last year, so that's a pretty good return rate, and that meant that they were able to get another year's learning behind them. A lot of those women, who the only hardball cricket they played was last year, so it's been a year between drinks. They felt a lot more confident. They felt a lot better. They understood the game a bit more, and whatever apprehension they might have had to the hard ball, it's all gone. So they've got no doubt that they're going to be able to get a hard ball competition at the end of it, which basically means that the pathway is going to be complete. And to see, I've had numerous conversations, and my former professional life had a bit to do with this, and a lot of conversations in the background. To see the passion in some of these people's eyes, some of these women, and some of the guys that are driving it. So like the shoes on the other foot a little bit. You've got the supporting husband or partner or whatever. And I know there were 1 or 2 up there with the girls during the week. To see the tears in the eyes building up when they're talking passionately about what they care about, what they really believe in, that says something. And when you see that, you know what, this is all going to work, going to happen. So any way we can, let's all get behind and support this this drive to get more and more people playing this game. So well done, girls, getting your first win of what I hope will be many. I know for a fact we've got some really good young girls coming through that have got a connection to PCA. I know they play a little bit of representative cricket with, Rocky Mandurah. Shout out to the Kennedys from Shoalwater Cricket Club, proud grandparents of young Taylor Flowers. Taylor's doing some great things with Rockingham Mandurah as we speak. Put some really good performances on the board of late, has got into some, WA cricket squads and things like that. Good little player. So watch this space. But I know they are very, very proud grandparents. Can't talk enough of the way she's going along. So it's fantastic. So we've got players like that. I know that there are some good young players that will be able to step up and play and represent this team moving forward. And, who knows? They might be challenging for a top spot in a year or two's time. Anyway, the interview that's coming up, we've got Hollie Astle, Ash Challen, and we've got Rebecca McLennan as well. So they're the 3 that gave up their time. It was valuable. What are we going to call it? Celebratory time. Okay, so they just won their first game. They'd all got back, had a bit of dinner. They're someone got their glad rags on, and they were out to celebrate. So and so they should. And girls on tour, as we know, whatever happens on tour stays on tour. Anyway, enough of me. Here's the interview. Hollie, Ash, and Bec, 3 of our players for the PCA women's team who just competed in Women's Country Week up in Geraldton. So enough for me. Enjoy the recording. All right, everyone, welcome back here to the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Show. A very special, 3 guests we've got here right now, and they are some of today's victorious PCA country women's team in Hollie Astle, Ash, and Bec, who, like I said, fresh off a win today, their first win, their second country week. How was the experience this week, girls?
Well, I'll hand you over to Ash because she's the team captain.
Okay.
And,
Yeah.
she can talk.
Yeah, it was a great week. Obviously, we had some tough wins, but yeah, today, our last game, everybody just did what they needed to do. We all worked together, and yeah, we just got it done. It was so good, so good.
Yeah. And how's the weather up there? It's obviously been stinking hot down here in Perth. Has it been hot there?
It's hot. It's not gonna lie. It's a lot hotter than last year. I feel like we had a bit of a breeze relief with last year, but it wasn't there this year.
Yeah, it's very hot. Like our 2 games yesterday, our first game was like 44-degree heat, and then next minute, our second game was literally blowing a gale. We could barely bowl. It was just
But hot.
You are in the windy city. You are in the windy city, which is Geraldton, though.
Yeah.
It's renowned for its wind, so you got
nice
it. So what was the talent like this year? Because obviously it's the second year of this fantastic competition. Was it a step up from last year?
Well, to be honest, I think Peel might have stepped up a little bit, but I feel like everyone else has sort of stayed, as in like the teams that were winning were the same teams that won. But yeah, I think we.
Yeah, definitely. We had, I think out of the 12, I think we had maybe 5 or 6 from last year. And so we had 6 new recruits, and it's just they've learnt so much over the last few days. It's great to hear. And and they all said they'd definitely be back next year, so that's what we want.
And they built a lot of confidence, a lot more confidence in playing with the hard ball.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So do you think that's a big step towards the real aim of having a hardball competition in the PCA moving forward?
100%. That's to me, that's given me 7 more girls that are going to talk to their other friends that are going to say the hardball is not that scary. Let's get this A grade up and running.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to happen pretty soon. So I'm stoked.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's fantastic, because you weren't really far off this year, were you? I mean, it was only a few little things that sort of it was probably the day, wasn't it, more than anything?
Yeah, which is when we spoke about getting the lights and then obviously at a ground and having it on a weeknight, which would get it up and running straight away.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. That's pretty cool. So so we got you played last year, didn't you, Ash?
I did, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Beck, did you play last year? Was this your first one?
This is my first country week. Yeah.
First country week. And what was your? I mean, you've been a mum at country week many times. This time you were there on your own as a player. How was the difference?
I was actually just thinking about that before. The main difference is, like, you still get to have the camaraderie that you do at country week, but the main difference is your development as a player, because you're out there every day, and you've got game after game that you can keep building on and developing, and you learn from other people as well, from different clubs. You really do learn so much from being part of a Carlton team. Yeah, it was awesome.
That's fantastic. Yeah. So, where did you see the main improvement in the group? Well, any of you can answer that one.
I honestly feel like everyone, to be honest, like not to sound like that person, but like one of the girls, Jess Hundham, I think.
South Mandurah. Yep.
She was saying today that when I was giving her some throwdowns before she went out, she said she'd never been able to do a straight drive, and she nailed that today. And then when I was out there in the middle with her, I was teaching her to kind of walk with the bowler when you're batting and stuff, and she's like, "Thank you, that was like really good experience." Like, it was just great to teach him. Yeah. Stuff.
So you saw most of the improvement with the bat more than with the ball as a team or as a squad, or was it every skill? Was it not one particular skill necessarily?
I feel no one's scared of the ball anymore.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. At first training, there was a lot of scared faces and
scared to catch, and now they're like devastated if they drop it. Like, hating the world.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good bowling too. So
yeah, definitely.
That's good. Okay, now we get to the really important stuff. Country week, girls away on tour. Who was best on ground, off the ground?
Best on ground, off the ground. Well, I don't know. Little Danny from Hall 10, she's a funny one.
Yeah, she is, yeah.
No, what happened the other day? So at Narwhal Oval, it's like quite windy and it's dusty and everything, and there's willies forming
Yeah.
past the oval, and I've yelled out, "There's a willy," and she's like, "What's a willy?"
And then we came out, and then we're all like, Daddy, did you see that willy, Daddy? Like, she just wasn't responding. She's just in awe, like looking at it.
Couldn't believe it. Didn't understand why they're called willies, but
So you girls were country cricket at its best.
Yeah, it was literally in a ground in the middle of nowhere. It was a beautiful field, and it's just middle of nowhere, and there's this willies just going off. Yeah.
in the Chapman Valley, so it is a nice.
Yeah.
You know,
It's beautiful.
Yeah. No, there are some great venues up there. They've obviously hosted the Australian Country Championships before, so there's some good good venues there, obviously, that are good enough to host that level of competition. So, including playing under lights. How was that? That must be amazing.
So basically with the lights thing, there was only 2 spots, and obviously the grand final where they could play games. And Peel actually got a game under lights last year. So in the working group, we were quite happy to say we'll let someone else have a go.
Okay.
So we didn't get under lights this year, but
we watched both games
We
under
did
lights,
watch,
and
we
the
did
crowd
watch.
there was awesome. That was
Yeah.
like my main takeaway. It was just like
Yeah.
amazing atmosphere. So many people down there getting behind all the women playing. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm. No, that's fantastic. So, what's the plan moving forward? So, like, this is it's it's groundbreaking stuff to have, the female competition getting up first of all in the PCA, then for the country cricket board to back this in and having 3, 4, 5 associations put teams in. I see this growing. I see this like other associations saying, well, hey, if they can do it, why can't we get a team in there? So there'll be more and more teams. Where do you see this growing to? Or is the sky the limit?
I think the sky's the limit. So basically Bunbury have been awarded Women's Country for the next 2 years, so 2023 and 2024.
Okay, that's cool.
Given to the Southwest. And I feel that, being only an hour from a manager, I reckon Peel's going to pull in 2 teams. Well, hopefully we'll have 2 teams. Everyone else that was in the comp, unfortunately, Port Hedland pulled out this year, which dropped us to 7 teams. But hopefully they'll come in strong and have a team next year as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think, in all honesty, if being in Bunbury would probably have 3 teams. I feel there's going to be probably quite a lot in it. They might even tier the competition because obviously having a Geraldton A, Geraldton B, it's quite a strong Geraldton A team. If the competition could be tiered, it would make it a little bit more, not fairer, but maybe we might get a grand final win.
That's right. Exactly. It's great.
Second tier.
Oh, okay. B grade.
But the talk amongst the other teams was quite positive in that there's more players. There's going to be more players coming along and being part of this moving forward.
100%. The support and that from everyone, and just how friendly and there's girls out there that got really good experience and they just they help us. Like we're bowling or whatever, and they're like just tweak it here or tweak it there because of the wind, and you might actually bowl one of their players out from the advice they've given you.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's how it is. So even though it's like competitive, it's still friendly and inviting, and women supporting women in cricket. So
yeah,
it was great.
Yeah, and fingers crossed that we sort of get into something that vaguely resembles a normal world that might actually lead into the WA Country Championships, the Australian Country Championships, and WA's team coming from the competition and all that sort of stuff. Where because even that's a fledgling team as well. It's got better, but it's still having a competition actually pick a team from makes a hell of a difference. And having somewhere to go, I think will make a massive difference. Knowing that there's another level, do you know what I mean? But obviously with no, we're not allowed to do anything. So with no country champs, it's sort of a competition that sits there. And I think it affected the men's competition as well. There's players that want to play WA country, but it's not going anywhere at the moment because, we've got borders closed and, there's more important things. But do you think that might make a difference again if we know that we're in a normal world? And
I think definitely it'd be the next level, wouldn't it?
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Once we've learned to live with COVID and you know, not trying to stop it, I guess everything will sort of fall into place, and it'll be the next best thing.
Because it'd be amazing to have 1, 2 or 3 Peel players playing in that WA country team. You know, if you get selected, it'd be awesome.
Bring it on.
It'd be awesome to get in there and you know, fly the flag and I think that role modelling is huge, you know, because there are some really good young players coming through, and hopefully they want to play for Peel. You know what I mean? I think it's really fantastic.
Yep.
So plans. You're obviously going to do the road trip back. Was the road trip up okay? No, there weren't any hiccups along the way. No.
Well, us 3 actually came up together. I drove these 2 up. We didn't have really anything. I think a couple of the girls slept and a couple of them talked each other's ears off. And
yeah.
we made a rule where there was no cricket talk in the cars.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think that stopped us. But
No. No, absolutely. We didn't know that rule when we got into the car.
Yeah.
And who won Country Week in the end?
Geraldton A.
Geraldton A.
Yeah, Geraldton A and Geraldton B played in the grand final tonight. Yeah,
Okay.
well deserved.
Yeah, really well deserved.
Really nice bunch of girls, like I said.
Yeah, even when we were
great.
versing them.
Oh, we versed
At Narborough.
on
Yeah,
that day.
yesterday.
On my birthday.
Yeah, it was Hollie's birthday.
Yeah.
Which you got 3 wickets. Yeah, even against that game yesterday with them, they were so supportive. Like the wind was just terrible,
Yeah.
and they were very supportive and yeah, very like, come on girls, like you got this. Like
Giving us
really
advice
good.
and allowing me to get wickets against the grand final
Against them.
team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not even a bowler.
Anyway,
So that would have been the Bidwell family would have had a big role with Geraldton.
Bidwell, is that Leanne?
So yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she handed out player of
And
the
her
match.
daughters. So Olivia Bidwell and can't remember the other one's name, but yeah, there's a few of them. They are like sporting champs up there in Geraldton. Husband Shane's a WA country cricket superstar, and the girls have done very, very well up there as well. So and she's been a leading force in getting women's cricket up and about in Geraldton. So that's all good. Look, I tell you what, girls, I know you girls are real itching to get back to the team and sort of get back out into the celebrations after having a fantastic win today. So thank you so much for making some time tonight and coming online. This is a bit of a country week special this week because we obviously didn't have any cricket on the weekend. So we've got a bit of a country week special being led by you 3 lovely ladies. So thank you very much for coming on board and a safe trip back. Behave yourselves on the way back and tonight.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's been Hollie, Ash and Bec from the PCA women's team who've just competed in the second Women's Country Week, which is fantastic. And it's only going to grow more and more. Thank you very much. And you are on the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Show. We'll be back after this.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks. So we're back. The Pavilion Peel Cricket Show presented by me, Orazio Santalucia. I'm here every week trying to pump up this competition and cricket in the Peel region because there's some bloody awesome stuff happening. Supported by Retravision, ESA Sport and Everlast sports drinks. Like I keep saying every week, they get behind us. It's important that we get behind them. So buying electrical goods, white goods, etc. There's only one place to go. ESA Sport doing some great things, enabling access to a whole heap of sporting memories and memorabilia even, as well as being distributors of the good stuff, Everlast sports drinks. So get behind them. Thank you to Hollie, Ash and Bec for their time. Like I said, it was valuable celebrating time that I took them away from, but they were super excited, as you probably heard in their voices. And I'm pretty excited myself to sort of see this thing grow and see how it goes moving forward. I believe, well, as they said, next year's tournament, next 2 years will be in the southwest, so being a little bit closer might get a few more people involved. So let's see how it goes and see how it transpires into the back end of the Beyond Bank ladies competition moving forward. Okay, before we wrap this baby up, we're going to quickly go over Retravision Premier T20 cricket. Tuesday night was White Knights Baldivis versus Shoalwater Bay. Now, we've seen Shoalwater before, but we haven't seen White Knights this year. The time we were down to have them, it was one of those early games where we had the rain. So White Knights, good side for the first time ever. And you probably heard it in the little interview I did with Steph Botha, their Saturday captain. The Botha brothers, 3 of them. Eric, who's playing for South Perth at the moment. Steph, who's, well, leading wicket taker in the competition at the moment. And his other brother, Rob, who's come over to WA from New South Wales. First time they've all played in a team together. I find that strange because they're all, 20s. But hey, pretty exciting time, I guess. And that's the beauty of this competition. It provides all these opportunities, be it. And he did mention, and this happens every week as well, players that play in different grades normally get to play in the top team because of their skill set, what they bring to the party. So it was great. Anyway, White Knights won a toss, decided to bat on a different peel wood reserve wicket. A little bit more moisture left in it, a little bit more grass, and it's understandable with the heat that we've had and what's coming up. Groundsman just decided just to leave a little bit more in it to prepare it for Saturday, I guess, and future games. The square is magnificent, Nick, by the way. Kudos to the groundsman there. The spread of grass on the square in January is amazing because normally by this stage it starts getting a bit bare. But we're going to have good wickets there throughout the season, no doubt. So anyway, batting first, 120 all out. And this is after Eric lost a couple of wickets here and there, but Eric Botha was playing on a different wicket. He put on an absolute clinic. He did some stuff that was amazing. Played this reverse lap off young Mitch Oliver, who bowled, and talk about him in a sec. Real superstar sort of stuff. Hitting the ball everywhere, 53 off 37 balls, 4 4s and 4 6s, and was on his way to 100. Well, you don't know, but he was well on his way to a big, and White Knights were going to go. But strangely enough, like I said, it was a bit grassy, and I'm not sure whether he had the half spikes or the full spikes, but he slipped over early in the innings, but it was okay. But this time got sent back by his partner, and the late ring-in, which was Daniel Coles, the pres of White Knights Baldivis, because their other returning player, I guess, or marquee player, because Eric Both is a returning player. Marquee player was going to be Lockie Pratt, who plays at Perth, but he was a late withdrawal, so Dan Coles got the call up. So he sent Eric back. Probably wasn't a run, he slipped over, fell on his backside, and they got the easiest of run outs, and that was the most unfortunate way to get out. And I guess the crowd was robbed of what could have been something special. We obviously saw that magnificent innings early on in the Hillman match. So we might have seen that in this game here, White Knights v Shoalwater Bay. But White Knights all out for 120. Some really, really good bowling. Started Matty Skelton, my man Bjorn Borg, who actually played up to it, which was fantastic. So well done, Matty. Thanks for playing up to it. Just providing the entertainment here. Had a little tennis serve when he was out there. So that was fantastic. Bowled really well. Bowls little left armers, and has been probably listening and watching and learning about how to play T20 cricket. And out of his 4 overs, I don't think he bowled the same ball twice. He bowled cutters, he bowled slow balls, he bowled wide of the crease, round the wicket, over the wicket, you name it, he did it. And had him in all sorts. His second over was the double wicket maiden. Now, who bowls them in T20 cricket? He finished with 3 for 16, really set it all up. Jared O'Brien, as soon as I saw him bowl 1 or 2 balls, I thought, this wicket's made for you, sort of real hit the deck bowler, and that's the sort of wicket that it was. He got 2 for 21. And then Jackson Ward bowled, he got 3 for at the end. He got 3 for 16, little creepy sort of bowling. He sort of creeps up to the wicket and then sort of puts it up there. And again, sounds like I'm on the spinners bandwagon, and probably am. But Mitch Oliver, young bowler, bowled with really good control. Very unlucky to go wicketless. None for 20 off his 4, but really bowled an important spell of the game. And the most pleasing thing to see was not only his control, but also the fact that he knew what to do and he had plans. He had definite plans. He set the field and bowled to it. So, mate, well done. Keep going. And Charlie Burke, who's doing some coaching with him, keep going, Burkey, doing some really good stuff there. So, anyway, 120 all out. And in reply, so under lights, you never know. Eric Botha and Steph Botha opened the bowling, so the both the boys, and Steph's good big bowler. Probably floated him up a little bit too much and didn't quite hit the deck enough, and then lost his radar a little bit. Bowled a lot of wides and defending 120 couldn't be done. But Eric come on at the other end, and he's quite slippery. He was letting him rip. Corey Wosley opened the batting. Just struggled for timing for the first little bit, and then he found it, and the boy showed his class. It was really, really good to see. Been lucky to see this kid develop and grow over the last 4 or so years, but it was a classy inning. 79 not out off 54, 5 fours, 5 sixes. Has no fear, plays some, takes the spinners on, hits them a long, long way for a slight guy. He hits the ball really hard and really far. He's got amazing timing, and it was really, really outstanding inning. 79 off 55, took the game away. Shoalwater won by 7 wickets with about 2 or so overs to spare. Not only were the boundaries impressive though, and this is something to learn as well, was the fact that he was batting at about 4. His swing's got about 4 paces. He doesn't only go one swing, so he's got about 4 different paces to his swing. And by that I mean he was hitting the ball to the boundary rider and getting 2s, because he didn't hit it hard. He just hit it soft enough, hard enough to get past the infield, but not too hard to get to the outfielder too quick, and taking 2s and little things like that, and hitting it to the left and to the right, really controlling where he was placing the ball. Really classy innings for someone that's 16 coming 17. Amazing stuff. So well done, Corey, and probably good for you in your for the rest of the season sort of thing. So really well done, and well done to Shoalwater, and I think that nearly puts them into finals category. I find it hard to work out how the whole thing works, so someone might be able to explain it to me. But they've got to win, and they're in the mix to get through to the finals. So next week we have yet another belter. I'll just quickly get that up. I'm going to get it wrong. Hillman v Mandurah. That's got Ripper written all over it. Hillman started the Retravision T20 Premier League on fire, and Mandurah were very, very impressive. I dare say their invitation player, whatever you want to call marquee player, will be different, because Chris Sarberg, who lived up to all expectation, has been, or is away with the Scorchers, so he may or may not play tomorrow night, don't know, but he won't be able to come back, as we know. He'll have to do 14 days of quarantine. So it'll be interesting to see whether Mandurah go out shopping and see whether we can get another player. And Hillman, we know, got a pretty solid team with their returning players. They've got Johnny Sanders, who's on fire at the moment, took an absolute pearler of a catch. Oh, that just reminded me. Did we see some catches? Jared O'Brien took one of the best caught and bowls you're ever going to see. And then Willem de Klerk from White Knights Baldivis at point took an absolute screamer as well. So do yourself a favour, get on to the coverage, and just fast forward enough to see those 2 catches, because they were amazing. And yet again, the fielding was outstanding. Both teams, a couple of drop catches, but hey, no one means to. But essentially, the fielding standards have been quite impressive. So well done, everyone. So anyway, Shoalwater Bay winners versus White Knights Baldivis. 3 for 121 defeats White Knights Baldivis all at 120. Next week, Hillman versus Mandurah promises to be an absolute cracker. We've got a very, very good week of cricket coming up this Saturday, round 14. We have in A grade, we've got Singleton versus Hall's Head. That has got classic written all over it as well. Could really set the stage for who's going to sort of finish top. Singleton had a bit of a disappointing one before the break. Hall's Head just going along nicely, so that'll be an absolute cracker. Warnbro v Mandurah. Well, hey, there's another really good one. Pinjarra, Secret Harbour. Now, Pinjarra, the unlucky team of the comp. How many games have they lost? Last ball, 1 wicket, 1 run, ties. So we'll see what happens there. And Secret Harbour been, knocking on the door as well. So that could be a ripper. Waruna, Shoalwater Bay. Waruna flying along, equal top. Shoalwater just doing their thing, and they're winning and winning and winning. Would have got some really, really good sort of stuff out of Tuesday night. And we have South Mandurah versus Knights Baldivis. South Mandurah have lost 2 games in a row, quite disappointingly, really, for their standards, their lofty standard they set early in the season. They'll be looking to bounce back hard out at Falcon Reserve. So a really, really good round of cricket, round 14 of the PCA coming up this Saturday. The real stuff starts here. We've got a really good run in home towards the finals. I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited. Good luck to everyone involved this weekend. May all your shots hit the middle of the bat. May all your balls hit the top of off stump. All the catches hit the middle of the hands, and have a great week. We'll see you all next week. We'll see you all Tuesday when you're tuning in for Retravision Premier T20 League cricket. This is the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Show, proudly supported by Retravision, ESA Sport and Everlast. I'm Horatio Santolaccia. I'm enjoying bringing this to you every week. Adios, amigos. See you next week.
A lot more secure in the right, pushing forward.
And shot in, boys, and we start a roll here. One bad shot to open the door in wide. Come on, lads.
Yep, one bad shot is going to bring Faf du Plessis in, mate. Yeah, Faf du Plessis just got 100. It's a pretty good form, Bernie.